Kanga tatine planet atakamek. Zimwe takakunda zimwe zakaenda kumawe. Takapinda busy kuruka fence taida mame. Kaya ni will buy down to the pase. Wangwa wapuwa fresh mabumo wanga warom. Eche chaka watuma chaka sokuma chato wapo. Wabusimba ndapuwa pe buy down dinange pa post. Eche chaka watuma chaka sokuma chato wapo.
Welcome to Black Trauma with Men's Empire. I'm your host, Men's Empire. I'm really excited to get this episode up and running. This is the second episode, but before I start, guys, I just want to take a moment to express my heartfelt gratitude to each and every one of you. If you're joining us for the first time, thank you so much. Please subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any episodes that are coming in. I really want to thank you for your unwavering support. Your feedback, your compassion have been the driving force behind the success of my last episode. It also worked as an encouragement to make sure that I put out this episode. We need to change the world one episode at a time, and we cannot be just sitting here doing nothing. We need to do this. So really, I had to get this episode out because my passion is to get this, to change a narrative and to give a template out to the new generation, even the generation now, so that they can use it as a way of navigating the highs and lows, of life's issues. Here's to many more connections of growth and exploration ahead. But Northampton, guys, was really emotional. I broke down, guys, towards the end of the event. That was gonna happen because we were given an opportunity to speak, and I asked questions around mental health and healing, forgiveness, and all of that, and showing up as the best version of ourselves. So the women that had made it in life, they shared their own stories. So as you can imagine, I had filmed an episode night before it was this day, and it was a bit triggering for me to talk about this. I then approached Sis Carol, and she invited me to the room after the event. I was so upset. Berita and Brain were so concerned, and they said, Memo, come on, we want the old Memo, we want you to have fun. Just concentrate and have fun. And you ask such moving questions. One of the questions I asked was, how do you forgive something you can't forget? And then at the end of the night, we danced and everything. At the end of the night, I went to Carol's room, and there were sisters in there, Tari and the other sister, and we spoke. And they, as I was speaking about my story, I cried. They said, just cry. We want you to cry. Cry everything. Let it out. I cried. I cried it until I cried it anymore. Until they joined me in the crying. We cried, all of us. And then they started praying. Guys, they prayed. They prayed, and then they shared their stories. I left that room around 3:40 a.m. I really thank God I went to this event because I needed this. I really needed it. By the end of that session, we were laughing at each other. And I went to my room. We were laughing at each other about the stories we shared about, but guys, but you went through something else. But I went to my room, did my journaling, and I slept. And I have sisters now that will be there for me as much as they can help. So moving on, this episode is about broken bones, stronger hearts, and healing from betrayal. About 4 years ago, I asked God to refine me. I used to sing the song Refiner by Maverick City. I don't know if the altar is where you meet us, take me there. Take me there. If what you need is just an offering, it's right here. My love is here, and I'll be your living sacrifice for you. You're a fire, a refiner, 'cause I wanna be tried by fire, purified. Come take whatever you desire. Lord, is my life. I wanna be tried by fire. Guys, I used to sing that song. like I knew what I was talking about. And I used to actually cry. It's a powerful song. Like I would be telling God, like, get it out. If these people are not, I get them out. Get them out. My ego, my plans, my schedule, my itinerary, everything. You can move that over. Anything that's not like you, just take it away. Because I just want to seek you first. And he did just that, guys. He did just that. And trauma and being broken changed me as a person. It changed my family dynamics. It changed the way I deal with people, the way I communicate, the way I interact with the world, the way I interact with strangers, with people I know. And I met the most toxic human beings in my entire existence. All I needed was just everything to end. I had rage and tears, and that took over my life and held me down. That's when I got the revelation that I shouldn't worship the weight of the pressure that was holding me down. God sent me into hazardous conditions because he knew if I make sure that I stay anchored to his word, it doesn't matter who comes, who goes. And when you are walking in certain places, see if your peace can rest in that house. If it doesn't, then move on to the next house. It's dangerous. You are outnumbered. And I just felt like people were letting me down. Then God gave me another revelation that people that I was counting on, to be there for me in a certain way may not be there in the certain way that I'm used to them being there for me or expected them to be there for me. Furthermore, God said that I will never leave you without an anchor. Just because you are used to seeing me in one way, Memo, doesn't mean I'm not with you. I am a vessel with a lot of anchors. If you would just trust me in this next phase of your life, Memo, you will understand that you will feel rooted again. I realized, oh my God, I'm almost 40 years now and I'm sitting here in tears with nothing because I need someone to save me in my own way. And God has been an anchor in a certain way and that I used to. I understood him showing up in a particular way. And then I missed the point of him being there for me, and I felt like I was abandoned, and I felt like people were leaving me, and I was crying, blaming him, blaming people. I quickly changed my mindset and started therapy. Therapy was my first step because in life, attacks of any kind often arise, testing strength and the depth of our faith and the relationship with God. And as we journey through these challenging moments, it is essential to recognize that profound influence of generational trauma and life experiences on our responses and behavior. Guys, generational trauma, it stems from the, emotional and the psychological wounds passed down through generations. And this can shape our perceptions, our coping mechanisms, our communication styles. And in these times, the experiences and the challenges that we face and that were faced by our ancestors actually can leave a lasting imprint on our own psyche. And this can also influence how we navigate disagreements, misunderstandings, seasons, attacks, or fights with those closest to us. Our individual life experiences, values, and toxic traits also play a significant role in how we approach conflicts in relationships. The unique blend of our personal histories and our cultural backgrounds and learned behaviors, it forms the lens through which we view and respond to discord. By acknowledging these layers of influence, we can gain a deeper understanding to ourselves and others by fostering empathy and compassion. Our interactions with people as well will be changed. When faced with conflict, it is very crucial to approach a situation with a spirit of curiosity and empathy and a willingness to explore the root cause of this discord. Generational trauma and personal experiences we uncover in the process will have underlying triggers and patterns that our forefathers used to do, something that they put into our present situation, and it can impact our lives. So generational trauma, guys, and our past making decisions to make a resolution can be very challenging. And in such instances, it is vital to prioritize self-care, emotional building, setting boundaries that safeguard our mental and emotional health. While we strive for understanding and growth in our relationship, it is essential to remember that healing is a journey that requires patience. It requires compassion. It requires a commitment and a self-awareness of growth as a person. Encouraging our loved ones and friends to embark on their own path of healing can pave the way for deeper connections and transformative changes. Healing takes time, guys. It's okay to feel broken and lost and alone. Sometimes I wake up and I feel like, do you know what? I don't want to be here anymore. I have a very small circle, and I thank God they're still here with me, and they love me deeply and they care about me deeply. When I began the healing journey, I knew it would lead me to change the way I date, the things that I accept in relationships, any relationship. But I was not prepared for how much it would lead me to up my standards, and being selective with who I allowed to have access to me, who I wanted in my circle. Now, I take access very seriously, and I go hard for people that I give access to my own personal space. And I'm not perfect. But if I let you in, that means there's next to nothing I wouldn't do for you. And there's next to nothing I wouldn't do to make sure that our relationship moves swiftly. I cannot just have people that let people give access to anyone, because it's an opening. I used to get off on how much people liked me because I was so friendly. I loved meeting new people. I'd actually literally meet up with any stranger who asked to go out or hang out and embrace them, because I just thought love was all genuine. But you'll be surprised, guys, by that, how many people that want to come into your life with the hopes of strategically removing you from it. I would introduce a friend to my husband, introduce a friend to my friends, and even after divorce, I would introduce a friend to a friend, and next thing I'm seeing them being over familiar with each other and becoming too friendly, giving each other favors behind my back, or should I say, forget to tell me, until it's mentioned by a stranger that actually feels sorry for me that, you have snakes in your circle here, and this is what's happened. And I fought battles, guys. People who know me, I'm that type of a ride or die. I'm so loyal to that. And I can fight battles even when you're not there. I'll fight for you. Do you understand? So I have fought battles for people, but people, when I realized that the same people that I fought battles for, they forgot about me without even a second thought, without even explanation, ghosted, discarded, done. That's when you realize, whoa. So all these riding or dying, I was at, wow. I had literally, there's nothing horrible like investing into a relationship only to realize that it was a one-sided relationship. People don't think twice about discarding you. Life goes on for them. If you don't text them, they don't text you too. And whilst I was going through the worst time, life went on for everyone else. I mean, look at the father of my kids. He found the same time that his son was terminally ill was the same time he was getting married with to one of my followers on Facebook, going into business with one of my friends that I introduced to him. Like he was the only man left on earth for that friend of mine to go into business with. And then they went in cahoots to cheat the maintenance, to not pay maintenance that is meant to pay. The same woman leads conversations with people and calling me angry, lazy, she's mad, why can't she go to work? She knew the issues before they met for the second time. I'm the one that introduced them. But she knew the issues, but that didn't stop her to go into business, to have favors, to sneaky links, whatever those two do. Relationships and boundaries are like personal property lines that define where you end and where others begin. They are essential for creating a sense of safety, respect, and autonomy in any relationship. And setting clear boundaries helps us communicate our needs, values, and limits to others. It's about knowing and accepting what is acceptable and what is not, promoting a healthier and more fulfilling connection. Then loyalty in relationships is the commitment to stand by someone's side through thick and thin, supporting them and being there for them when they need us most. Loyalty builds a trust, and it fosters emotional intimacy around people, and it creates a sense of security in a relationship. It's about being dependable and honest and true to your word. This strengthens the bond between individuals. And then setting boundaries in relationships is a form of self-respect and a form of self-care, ensuring that our needs are met and our values are honored. It also plays a crucial role in maintaining loyalty to yourself. If we respect our own boundaries and uphold our own values, we cultivate a healthy sense of self-worth, which in turn allows us to be more loyal and more authentic in our relationships. So guys, in conclusion, our boundaries and loyalty are pillars of every relationship, and understanding their significance and practicing them in our interactions, we can have stronger connections and foster trust and nurture fulfilling partnerships in our lives. So if a person does not have these qualities for themselves, especially if they're dangerous, like that, and reckless like that to have in your circle, they are not bad people. They don't go out of their way to make life miserable for anyone, but they just lack these skills and qualities and don't even realize how damaging they are as a person. I accepted that, and only I realized that I have control over myself. And even though I confront people, I know that I only have control over myself. So I just made adjustments. So right now I want to go with the people that loves me, the people that have values. So as I get to know new people, I'm checking on you, checking, do you have values for yourself? Do you have boundaries for yourself? Do you just let anyone just have access to you? Are you friends with just everybody? There is no one that's friend with everyone. A friend of everyone is a friend of no one. Even the Bible, also there's some part that says, show me your friends and I'll show you your future. You need to be aware of who you're going into business with, because fighting battles that you don't know about. That's why that song came. Usapindira muzinuzevan, usapindira, usapindira, mangwana inofira iwewe. Because vachadzokerana, they will get back together. Those people, they will get back together because they met before you met them. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? So just be careful, especially when it comes to these family issues. Know your boundaries. And also one last point that I can give to anyone who wants it. As you go into relationship with men, women, everything, look at how they live their lives. Concentrate on the boundaries. Concentrate on their values. Concentrate on if they are loyal to people. If they're loyal, especially if someone is not loyal to themselves, there is no security about them at all. They just let anyone in just like that. No, those people are not safe to have in your life. People need to take accountability for their own lives and try by all means to change. Because guys, this can seem like, I'm just chatting rubbish, but your kids, you're not doing good for your kids. Those kids can see everything. They can see everything. Trust me, the worst thing you can do for a child is bring them generational trauma. Imagine that child, imagine Wendy now, when she grows up, when she gets into a marriage, now she has to cope with my own trauma and her own trauma. That's cruel. I would have failed miserably in life if I do that. Who you give access to, let's say I give someone access and then I say they all come in 5 and then they go back wherever they're going and I don't know. They are an opening. Everyone is an opening. Everyone you bring into your life is an opening for attack, for blessings, for whatever. Yeah? So just be careful who you let in. Just be careful. So guys, I'm going to go next to the questions and then we can close the episode. There were 4 questions that a lot of people were asking. Yeah? So I just picked 4 questions because otherwise this episode will be like, it will be too long. I thank you for asking those questions, and I love feedback because that's what I pull out of. Right, first question says, hey mems, how are you, love? How have you been holding up? I can only imagine things you've been through. It's been a tough ride for you. Add betrayal to that. People you love as well. You're truly a queen. Thank you. Oh, thank you, honestly, for asking. It's been quite a roller coaster, to say the least. I feel like I'm caught in a storm that just won't let up. With one challenge after another. That's how it felt. First, I faced betrayal from those that I trusted the most. And now it feels like my family is falling apart. But I'm learning. Thanks to therapy, that I'm very, 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 very positive that I'm not the problem here. People reflect on their own struggles. That sometimes people live not because of who you are. Some will cut ties because they lack the maturity to confront the hurt they have caused you, or you have caused them. Instead of taking responsibility and being strong, they create a fictional narrative about you to shield themselves from their own guilt or their own, I don't know. This insight is helping me realize that I deserve better and I won't let the past define me. If you don't want to talk to me, deuces. Right, number 2. What was the reaction or feedback from people involved? Do you still talk? Guys, the aftermath of the first episode has significantly complicated my relationships with my sister, especially. My baby daddy, it was shit anyway. My sister decided to distance herself, because she felt deeply hurt and she believes I betrayed her trust, I betrayed the family, and it's created, a silence between us. I hope she's reflecting on her part, because that's what I'm doing. I kept quiet for 3-4 years. And if she wants to take offense of me trying to make sense of her actions, and that lost me everything. Sounds like a her problem, not mine. Together with the people that are enabling her. Meanwhile, with my baby daddy, even though he couldn't care less about the kids, and he didn't say nothing to me. He tried to underplay his feelings and being over friendly to the kids. But that's him, calculated as always. But despite his lack of concern for our 3 children, he will always be part of my life. Our interactions, though, are very fraught with challenges. He gaslights and is very, very unsympathetic. And even in the future, for the sake of our babies, I'll do everything in my power to reconcile and cooperate with him. Because unfortunately, he is the father of my kids. So to avoid generational trauma for my babies, something is got to give. I'm doing my part to heal, and I hope he is too. Even though I doubt he has a good chance because of his enablers. Guys, can I just highlight something? Enablers, they actually create, several problems in relationships and personal growth. They often allow negative behaviors to continue, preventing individuals from learning, important life lessons and fostering, codependency of people. And those being enabled have this victim mentality. They avoid accountability, and their actions also, they are a bit, so it harms relationship, guys, by complicating my dynamics of people, and it really, this is a big one, it hinders reconciliation or recovery. And it's the most innocent people, in this case my kids, that suffer. So to my baby daddy's family and friends around him, please do better for the kids, yeah? Thank you. As for my ex-bestie, notice how I never have anything to say about her, because she ain't nothing to me. And one thing I know, she ain't got the balls to say nothing to me. So we'll leave it there until she decides to open her mouth. The third one. Why did you take the decision to forgive your sister and bestie and cousin but not take your hubby back? So I want to clarify my thoughts on forgiving my ex-husband to start with. His actions, guys, they stem from a background where polygamy was normalized, which may have, blinded him to the pain he caused. This generational trauma makes it challenging to change deeply, and because it's ingrained in his beliefs about relationships and fidelity. When I recognized the complexities of his upbringing, I just decided to prioritize the well-being of my children. Forgiveness felt very unnecessary because he doesn't see his actions as wrong. His experience has affected not only our relationship but also his connection with his own children, leaving emotional gaps in their lives. But ultimately, his quick transitions into relationships post-separation, they further illustrate his struggle to engage meaningfully. He is very quick to jump into relationship after our separation, and this reflects his struggles with intimacy and commitment. While his upbringing influences his behavior, it doesn't excuse his harmful actions. I know that. But really, there was nothing to forgive, because the guy doesn't think he's done anything wrong. This is how sad it is. I'm just invested in concentrating on my kids and their emotional growth and give them stability they need. His background is a polygamous family, and maybe the parenting style and everything, I don't know, but understanding this context is so important, but it doesn't justify his choices. My focus remains creating a nurturing environment for my children as I pursue healing and growth. I've decided that my kids will never spend a night at their father's house with this new wife. Why? Because, guys, they got married without informing the kids, without informing me and my children, and my children never met the woman. Ethan was very, very ill when they had that ceremony. They found something to celebrate at that time, and they sent the invitation after the fact that they got married. So I have concerned about safety and, values and, what she wants as a woman. I don't think my kids are safe from harm and trauma if I just let them go there. I need to be responsible and prioritize my kids. They did not. Why I said that? Because as a woman, I think you should introduce, you should say to your new partner, we need to meet your new family, your old family, because we cannot be getting married before I know Kuti, how your kids are, what's going on. I need to meet your kids. I need you to have part in your kids' life before we start our life. But for this woman, that wasn't anything important to her. It wasn't one of her values. It wasn't one of something that would stop her to be called whatever she calls herself. She was okay with that, and that's fine. End of story. That one is dead, done, dusted. When it comes to my cousin, I initially continued relationship with my cousin, and what people don't know is that I was watching every single move she made. She continued to be messy behind my back, creating fake stories, making me fight with my friends. And my friends, you know which friends I'm talking about. Guys, you know. And I wish you can just comment that you know. There's sneaky ways of tarnishing my name, my boyfriend's name, going behind my back to my exes and trying to connect her own toxic friends together with my exes and my friend. It was a lot, guys. She gossips about me to people. My anxiety got worse every time I was around there. I would see her whispering behind my back to her friends, and it made me so paranoid and triggered. And I was like, fuck this. Why should I deal with this? So when I called her out, she didn't like it, obviously, because she didn't think I had that balls to call her out. So she blocked me, didn't she? Because she didn't like the ultimatum, because I told her that she needs to stop doing that, or she gets out of my life. She thought she had gotten away with what she did with my ex-husband, and she thought, she just has to continue doing the damage. And I wasn't going to take any more of her sneaky behavior. So she decided to stop doing that, or kiss goodbye to our relationship. I was very clear with her that I did keep her in my life after what she did with my ex-husband, but that doesn't mean I was stupid. I was so obsessed with her, but I kept her in my life because I felt like she was family, and I thought she was remorseful, but her actions showed me otherwise, and I wasn't having it. No. So obviously she threw a tantrum, didn't she? And she decided to block me, and I was like, okay, cool. And then when the episode came out, she resorted to social media in a misguided attempt to distort, the narrative, trying to cast me in a negative light while deflecting responsibility for her actions. I swiftly shut down her attempts and decided not to engage in any further in this episode. And she knows full well that one single video will unravel everything in an instant. And for her to step back and leave me alone is the best decision, because that girl's got skeletons. She needs another closet or two to put her skeletons in. It's going to destroy lives. So sis, pattern up and shut up. Or if you can face it, bring it on. We are good at that. Then the last question, guys. This question was asked 79 times. 79 times. Mems, are you single? Why do you never open your DMs? We've been reaching out and shooting our shot, and you never open. What's wrong, Queen? You see, these men that come calling you Queen, be careful of them. Guys, I'm living hot. I am single, guys. I'm very single, but I've recently connected with an old love. This person, we never really broke up, but distance broke us up. And he is that type of a kind love, so attentive and so beautiful and everything. But it's early days, guys. I want a very romantic man. I don't want a man that I have to ask for a date. I don't want a man that doesn't communicate, that I have to look for. I don't want to second guess my feelings. I want someone who can complement these qualities, and so that we can make a strong connection. I want someone who's not lukewarm, who's not boring. I want a man who makes me jump every time I speak to him. Or if I see his coffee, like, hold on. That's you know what I mean? A true alpha male. But this one is a big one. He has to have a relationship with his kids. That's a no. That is a non-negotiable. I don't want someone who smokes. I can't do smokes. I don't like a man that hates his baby mama. Because these guys, they say, I hate my baby mama, is too goby. And they'll be going behind my back and sleeping with them and going round in the back and say she's bad. So we know those type of men. Yeah? And speaking from experience. You be going, oh, Mama is a horrible person, no, is a whatever. I forgot to tell you guys, I actually got my back because apparently I'm going Kumasowe because I want my husband back. Let me tell you one thing for nothing. I don't want him back. 1. 2, I did try my best. I tried my best to forgive the guy. I couldn't do it. Like I said, where he stands, his upbringing, he doesn't believe he did anything wrong. He actually blames my sister, called her hoe, said your family is the one that's toxic. Why would your sister do that to you? I'm not the one that did that to my own. Do you understand? So that guy is messed up. You understand? But I did get my own back because this was after he got married. He asked for some nudes and I gave him nudes. He was paying for them. I was obviously taking screenshots of everything with my other phone. He didn't know that I fell for it. Didn't take me a day. Fell for it. This is how he was, how obsessed he is about nudes. And then he came to South End, went to Premier Inn. I slept with him. And I have proof of everything. And then I sent everything to the wife, just to show her that if I wanted that man back, guys, it will not take me even a month. I'll have him back. But I cannot have him back because it will be hell for me. As long as they are happy, let them be happy. He knows my conditions about the whole thing with the kids and everything. And if he decides to use that not to look after his kids, it's fine with me. It's fine. If he decides to date my friend and be giving sneaky links, and I have no control over him. I don't. But what I will not have is him and his people thinking I want him back. I don't. But I sent everything to her. She did read everything and I left it there. I wasn't expecting for them to break up. I knew she would not break up with him. What I did not like is then going ahead and saying that I want him still. I didn't like that, so I had to prove a point. So that's how I proved it. So if I wanted that guy back, I would have him in a flash. He is a man that took me out of abuse where I was living. He is a man that helped me, and we raised 3 kids together. We were soulmates. We were there for each other. We were ride or dies. It was just the 2 of us. Literally, there's no one that knows me better than that guy. That guy knows me and I know him too. Yeah, and it won't take a minute for me to get back with him, but I don't want to do that, and he knows that, which is why I asked for divorce. So enough of the chats, enough of the conspiracy, I don't know, theories. And when you see us back together, it's because it's me that's reached out to him and I want him back. As of now, I don't feel like doing it right now. Let's just put it that way. So for now, let them have fun. Yeah? So to conclude, As I navigate the challenges of betrayal, loss, and broken trust, I want to remind you that healing is a journey, not a straight line. It's easy to feel like our worth is tied to what others do, but it is important to remember that your value isn't defined by these experiences. True healing starts with being kind to yourself, forgiving yourself, and facing your vulnerabilities honestly. In tough times, you can rediscover your strength and resilience. Like a phoenix, I rise from the ashes and I can find new purpose and understand my worth more deeply. I'm not defined by others' actions, but my courage in adversity. I embrace my healing journey with an open heart and seek support from those that uplift me. My prayer is to find peace amidst this chaos, strength in weakness, and healing in betrayal. My story is one of resilience. I believe in my worth, I own it, and I will continue to write my life's narrative with courage, compassion, and faith in healing. If you resonated with this episode, please leave a comment or a like. Or you can send a feedback or questions to my number. I'll put it right up here. No calls, just messages. Sorry guys, this is just a voice note number or text messages or WhatsApp messages. No calls on this number. And then I'll be able to respond. I promise you I will respond to this one. This is the number that you should text on. It's very rare for me to give you my number. Once I give you my number and you mismanage it, you'll never be able to have access to me again. Let's just put it that way. This number will be working to replace the DMs. Thank you so much. Mwah. Shalom.
Takapinda busy guru ka fence tada mambe kaya ni will by down to the pase